What are we doing here? So first things first, there's gamble. Got to consider whether that's a thing. Sometimes you can just do wild things with gamble. Anything good here? Farmer's market gamble is not bad, right? Like you get to the end of your deck, you buy some farmer's markets. That might only work with cost reduction. If you play 5 farmer's markets, you get 10 money from it. Yeah. If you had an easy way to gain farmers markets, they pay for their own cost in terms of the gamble cost. They don't pay for the actual buying part of the farmers market. So gambling farmers markets would be like okay. Gambling tunnel's kind of cute. Like you're a little sad to hit it, but it gains you a gold, which makes you actually kind of also happy to hit it. What about gambling soldiers? Those stack kind of nicely. You could take a bunch of soldiers. The thing that scares me, if you just try to go for the heavy gamble deck, where you draw via gambling instead of via playing your actions in the action phase, is ambassador. I could live with getting a bunch of coppers, but getting a bunch of estates or curses in my deck seems really hard to deal with, doesn't it? Is there any way around that? Like I see the appeal of some of this stuff. Tunnel, soldier, farmer's market, all of those kind of feel nice for gamble things, but the ambassador part scares me. If we're not doing that, I'm not sure exactly what we're doing. The kingdom's kind of weak except for peasant. Conspirator's okay. You could like put a token on pawn and then otherwise play a conspirator stack. Something like that is not bad for sure. I think that's perfectly fine. There's a good chance it's what I end up doing. I don't want it to be the thing I end up doing because it's boring. And I feel like we're on the cusp of something interesting, and I want to justify doing the funky thing. I know this is my last game of the season, and it could make or break whether I make the championship. But I feel like there's something to be done here. It's hiding. It's hiding in plain sight. In any case, I'm going to open Ambassador. Obviously, I need to thin either way. Both of those decks hate junk. And then I think I'm going to gamble here. If I hit Ambassador, I discard Estate and buy Peasant. If I don't, well then I've top decked Ambassador and I'm pretty happy. And probably just buy a second one now. He must have had the 4-3 instead of the 3-4 to have not gambled on turn 2. On 4-3, like you could take the risk of buy gamble, and then ideally you hit copper and buy ambassador, and like worst case you hit estate and buy peasant. That might be a little bit too risky though. Who knows? Take our peasant now. I still haven't made up my mind as to what I'm doing. Maybe we just like fight this ambassador war for a bit and hope not to get too junked and then decide after that. If I gamble and see my ambassador, I'm kind of sad, right? Let's do it anyway. Damn it. Why did I do that? I don't even know. I do know why I did that. I had 2 terminals down there. And so I would have been really happy to hit the peasant. And at least I've avoided the terminal collision. So even on the downside, I was only going to get to play 1 terminal anyway. Now let's try to find an ambassador. Pretty please. Nope, no such luck. I think normally standard procedure is to play your ambassadors to discard coppers instead of estates. I feel like that might be wrong here though, just because estates are so much worse for the gamble part than they are for than coppers are. Like that. That estate just like killed that turn. I have 2 ambassadors on top, so I will probably just gamble and discard 2 coppers. Do I want fugitive? Okay, so now I guess is when I have to decide, right? Or maybe not. I could take like 1 teacher. I don't know. So I'm thinking is like fugitive and disciple kind of suck if I do end up doing the gamble thing. But if I do the gamble thing, I think I could just turn it into a teacher and like put plus coin on something, and plus coin would be really good. I don't know. I still don't know what I'm doing here. I mean, the good news is it's ambassador. You just have to do this little thing for 20 turns anyway, where you just like discard cards over and over. Or not discard, trash cards and pass cards, or whatever the word is. It doesn't use the word pass. You return cards and then they gain cards. You do this forever, because if you don't do it, then your deck is full of junk and you lose. So I am getting to like delay the decision of what my deck actually does for quite a while, and just wait for this ambassador thing to get resolved. But I'm still not sure. Like if I just lose the ambassador stuff, it won't make a difference, really. I don't think. Dang it! See, these estates just like destroy your turn. That's the one big hang up that is potentially just scaring me out of doing anything interesting here. Is I have 4 estates in my deck. Fortunately, he has none right now to give me, but I worry about him just like hanging on to an estate and filling my deck with estates. Oh, I didn't even notice. I took the teacher already, didn't I? Oh, I guess I'm doing the gamble thing now. I guess that's how I make up my mind. I don't think I guess either deck kind of wants teachers. Maybe I'm not locked in yet, but I'm still not sure whether this is meant to be ultimately a stack of conspirators or not that. You would think I would have some idea by now on turn 13 what my deck is going to do. I have 2 ideas. I don't know which one is the correct one. Play teacher, I guess. I don't even know. I think I'm gonna do the gamble one. It's the more fun one. We're gonna live or die by this event. Somewhat likely die. This might be a little bit of a dubious deck, but it's a learning experience. Let's just put plus coin on ambassador, I guess. How many of these do I play? Like I've got 2 ambassadors down there that I can theoretically hit if I have enough money, but I also don't have enough money to get super far into my deck. So I think the odds that I managed to gamble 2 ambassadors are not that high, right? So let's just put all of our money in there to guarantee we find at least one. I'm still not exactly sure what this deck does, but it's going to do things. It's definitely doing things. I think I want a bunch of soldiers in the deck. I want maybe a tunnel or 2 in the deck to gain golds. We'll get farmer's market maybe at some point. Farmer's market's just like a silver that scores you points. It's like plunderish for these purposes. But we're decided. We're gambling for something here. The one good thing about the gamble engine that makes it really nice is it's really good at doing gain and play things. It's one of its biggest virtues. The downside is any junk at all hurts it a ton. Plus card on pawn is eminently sensible. He's going to end up with like 10 labs, isn't he? Somehow I expect that might just be the better deck after all, isn't it? Just put plus action on peasant here, I guess, so I can resolve this terminal collision situation. Do I gamble here? Do I get anything out of that? Best case scenario, I find my ambassador. Let's put one coin down and see what we get. Rip, there goes the turn. I'm still deeply confused about what I'm doing. I probably just need to trash more. This turn I'll just play ambassador and buy peasant, I guess. These estates are too bad for my deck to leave around. I was kind of hoping last turn that gambling a little bit there would set me up to have an ambassador 2 estate hand, which is kind of likely, but I flipped one of the estates. I would have really liked to return 2 estates on this turn. Yeah, E Honda has built the deck that makes sense, and it looks like it's already doing good things. There's also a very high likelihood that this deck like works well if built better, and that I'm just doing it badly. You can't really rule that out either. The thing I'm struggling with, I think, is just keeping my deck clean. I was already behind in the Ambassador War, I think, from the outset. So that was kind of going to be an inevitability. But it hurts this deck a lot more than the normal deck. A lot more. Just because... And the big difficulty is lining up your Ambassador with the junk cards. I think returning 2 estates there was a mistake on his part. I mean, he's going to win this, but... again, or maybe he's going to buy a curse. That might be even better than a state. They're not substantially different, but the estates sure hurt my deck a whole lot more than the coppers do. All right, but we're going to learn things for better or worse. We're going to learn whether this deck works at all. I think I know the answer, but we're going to verify. I want to play the teacher, not because I care about any of the remaining tokens in the slightest, but just because I want it to not be my deck anymore. It just needs to get out of the way. Yeah, I think what Ihan is building here just looks like clearly the right deck at this point. I think the Ambassador junking effect is like a little bit too strong. Is my bottom card Peasant? I think it might be. I'll probably play the Ambassador, pass the estate back, and then gamble it. I almost don't even want to pass the estates back because I feel like if he just keeps it and starts giving me 2 estates per turn, I'm just super dead. The coppers suck too, but a little bit less. Copper doesn't scare me as much as the estates do. Like coppers, you gamble it and you lose 1 money from it each time, and that sucks. But at the very least, you you get it in play. Whereas the estate, oh no, don't you dare. No, he's going to take the last 2 soldiers before I can grab them. That's malicious of you. Yeah, see, if I could have won the Junking War earlier on and had the thin deck, once you're thin, the deck that I'm attempting to build here does do a very good job of just exploding very fast. And then if you fill your deck with gold or something via tunnel, for example, it can deal with a bunch of coppers. Of course, there's also the concern of, like, if you manage to win the thinning war anyway, you could also just win with a normal deck. So this is going to be decided somewhat by the yeah, sad peasant. I could have left that on top, maybe. I'm not sure buying anything helps me here. So I'm not sure I missed out on anything either, though. But yeah, I think this game is going to be decided somewhat by the Ambassador War anyway. But certainly the deck that he's building is simple, reliable, definitely works. I'm still unsure whether this deck has the potential to come together. And I guess we're not really going to find out here. Oh well, we went down in a blaze of glory. I really enjoy these decks where Gamble is the main draw, but I still don't think I have the best grasp on them. It's kind of tough to tell exactly what works well and what doesn't work. Like, just the other day I hit on one that was just, like, shockingly good, much better than anticipated. And then sometimes you have ones like this where it looks like it's going to work and then it doesn't. I think Jesus Christ, stop, that hurts. My main takeaway here is I think Ambassador Junking just seems too deadly for this deck. If you can't get clean first, then you just die. And if you can get clean first, then it probably didn't matter enough. Okay, I mean, yeah, he's able to do gain and play stuff anyway, even with a standard deck. I think that's pretty clearly over. GG. Well, this was a sad result. I'm not happy with how I've played this match. Ended up 2-4. I still got a chance of making the championship if Psychomatic comes through for me. So I'm counting on you there, Psychomatic. But I definitely could have done better. I think this is a little bit sloppy on my part. GG's.